Look at them headlights. Man, I can't see nothing.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I got my truck in the shop this afternoon, getting ready to do service on it, oil change, all that good stuff, check everything over. And I purchased some new headlights for it because the ones that's in there are the factory headlights that come in there. I do have a newer set out of my other truck, but they're probably 7 or 8 years old. I've tried polishing them, and that only lasts for a little bit, and then it's back to the same thing. You can't really see. And so I was looking into the headlight options on these trucks, and so I'm going to go over a few options that I found and tell you why I went with what I went with. The first option being the most expensive, the factory Volvo LED lights made by Truck Light. Those are about, I found some on the internet for like $1,500, but you have to have the lighting control module in the truck reprogrammed by Volvo is what I've read, and that could be a couple $100 time they put the shop labor on there and all the other stuff they do in tax and everything. So it could cost you about up to $1,800 or more, depending on if you buy them straight from Volvo or whatever. And they're supposed to be good lights and everything. And I read on some of the earlier 06 trucks that the lighting control module is not reprogrammable, so then you would have like your bright indicator on the dash wouldn't work, and you would get an error code saying that your bulbs are out. And I didn't really want to fight all that. I didn't want to spend $2,000 and fight that, not knowing if they would 100% work or not. And your next option is what a lot of people go with is the cheaper aftermarket LEDs, like is on Amazon and eBay, and there's several different name brands of them. Some of them had decent reviews. I read some reviews that wasn't that great, and which is what I kind of suspect. I suspect they'll probably go out after about a year. That's been my luck with buying like cheaper LEDs and stuff. Is a lot of times, it's like a car where you only drive it every now and again at night. On a big truck, you got to have your lights on, and you drive a lot at night, depending on where you're going or whatever. So you need some good lights. And I didn't want to pay, $700 for some cheap lights that one of the LED lights go out. There's not replaceable bulbs there. So if one of them goes out, you don't have a headlight. Volvo don't stock that headlight. Parts House don't have that headlight. You're going to have to order another one from Amazon or eBay or wherever you got that from. Take 3 or 4 days to get it in, and you can't drive around without a headlight in the truck, or at least you shouldn't. DOT catches you, it's not going to be real good. You can't drive around for a week with no headlight working. Not going to work. So you would almost have to buy 2 sets of those lights and keep an extra set in the truck with you so that you could swap them out if you had to on the side of the road or a truck stop or whatever if you had one go bad. Otherwise, you wouldn't have a headlight. So I didn't really like that option. Option number 3 is you can go to Volvo and buy the factory OEM halogen headlight assembly, which is like what the guy before me did in my old truck right before I bought it. And you can see decent. When I first got the truck, they wasn't great, but they were okay. But then it progressively got worse. They only last 2 to 3 years, seem like, before they start getting worse, and you can't really see out of them no more. So the 4th option, which is what I went with, is go with the halogen style lens, but go to an aftermarket. There are several different aftermarkets. You got Eagle Eyes, you got Dorman, and several other. The Dorman lights were a little more expensive than the Eagle Eyes, so I assumed they would be a little more better. A little more better? Yeah, probably not a right word. Anyway, a little better. So that's what I went with, is the Dorman headlights. And as I say, the main reason is I can keep spare bulbs in the truck, and I've actually had this happen before. Have a headlight go out on the road, it throws a bulb check light on your dash, and you can pull over to the truck stop and change the bulb. I actually had to stop and buy a bulb one time at a truck stop. These are standard bulbs that most of the bigger truck stops, like a Love's or something, they keep some light bulbs back there in stock. Now you're going to pay about 3 times the price, but still that gets you back on the road where you can see, and you're not got a DOT upset with you. So that's the option I went with. Now they do make some LED kits that you can put in these lights as well. I looked at that. I'll put a link in the description to this stuff that I'm talking about if that's something you're interested in. A lot of people don't like those, a lot of people do. There's some concern with you possibly blinding other drivers. I don't think that would be an issue on these Volvo headlight assemblies, because I never met a Volvo that blinded me on dim. Now on bright, yeah, but the lights are so poor on dim, I don't think you got to be worried about getting blinded by a Volvo VNL with lights on dim. But that's my opinion. You can research that if you want to do something like that. These are Dorman 888-5505 and 888-5506, and I'm not opening them yet, so I don't know what they look like, but that's what we're fixing to do now. First thing is, we got this little flap raised up. We got I believe there's 3, supposed to be 4. Somebody left one out there, or fell out one. Bolts, 10mm bolts here to remove this whole headlight assembly and pull it out. There's another bolt hidden in this corner down here that I did not see a while ago. You got to take it out too. So there's 3 in the top, 1 down here. All right, guys, let's compare the 2. This is the new one I just took out of the box, made by Dorman. This is the one I removed, made by Volvo. And you know it's an OEM Volvo because it's got Volvo right in the corner of it. The Dorman does not have that. It's got a little symbol there. They look identical. This one has got a piece broke off the bottom of it right here, this little trim piece, because I hit a deer here a while back and it just snapped that little piece off. But turn this over so you can see the back. You got a little vent tube right here that you want to make sure that's what that fell off in the box. Be careful trying to turn this over. I don't want to scratch it all up. But it looks identical the way the dust covers and everything go. If you look at that one there and look at this here, it comes with a wiring harness, and I believe the bulbs and everything are in there too. There's turn signal bulb, headlight bulbs and all. You see what I'm talking about these, and it's clearly I can see that dim light being a projector. I don't think it'd be an issue putting a LED bulb in there, because that projector keeps it from blinding anybody, as long as it's adjusted right. I mean, if you get something way out of adjustment, yeah, you can blind somebody, but that is up to you. I believe that right there is going to solve my problem. I don't remember exactly what these cost. I'll put a link to them in the description, and you can take a look at them. But that is going to be far better than that right there. And it tells you the size light bulbs on the front of these, on the lenses too, on them and the old one here, if you did not know that. But anyway, we'll get this mounted in there and see what she looks like. I think that'll make the truck look a whole lot newer. I also picked up these truck light tail lights, and these are kind of expensive, but they fit a Volvo, and that is the deal. I actually bought some other normal LED lights, and realized when I got ready to plug them in that these take a different plug-in. If you look right here, these have the center 3-prong in the center right there, and that's what these are here. Same thing. These are the exact same light, but these have some LEDs out in them. I don't recall how many you're allowed to have out before it's a violation, but that's something I've been going to pick up for the last little bit and keep forgetting about it. But I've got them now, so we're going to get those put in there. So anyway, we'll get them put in there in a little bit, and I'll put a link in the description for these as well. I had a little bit of trouble finding them myself because I wasn't sure, and a little bit expensive just to order some, hoping they fit, but that's kind of what I had to do because they don't really show you a good picture on Amazon, but that should be the correct thing. So I have another set of lights over there in stock, that's regular lights, but they'll fit my gooseneck trailer. I think I have 2 sets of them in stock now, because sometimes I buy stuff and then I forget about it, and then I go buy some more stuff and then realize I had what I needed all along. So anyway, we'll get them put in there and get that fixed up as well. All right guys, I would advise putting some NICs like that right there.
on these bolts here, just so that if you have to take them out again, that you won't have any problems with them being corroded up in there. Alright guys, I've had the driver's side headlight here out, and it also only had 4 bolts, and up on closer inspection there is no spot, no nutsert or insert to put a bolt right there. So guess that's why it didn't have one. It only has 4. You see, like these here, but there's a hole, like, you know, maybe they were going to put one, they thought about it. I'm sure some of your models do have one there, but this one does not. So guess it depends on your year model truck. This is a 2006. So if you have a different year model, it could very well have a bolt there. And it appears that the new light is the exact same way I put it back, just like it was. 2 bolts on top, 1 bolt there, 1 bolt there. I suppose that is your low beam adjustment right there. And not sure on the high beam adjustment, or if it's all, it may all move together. On to the rear lights now. Rubber still feels fairly soft. Some of these rubbers get real hard and it's hard to do anything with them. And these lights did not come with new ones. Got this jack stand back up under there, so when I get up under the truck, just in case the air leaks down or something were to happen, it's just keep the truck from settling very much anyway. A little extra safety precaution never hurt. So you see the plug-in style I'm talking about there. Dirt up in there. May have to put a little bit of something on these to make them lubed up a little bit. Go in a little easier. We're going to try it without doing that and see how our luck goes here. Not very good so far. Hanging on that middle right there. There we go. Putting a little bit of something on there will definitely help that out. You don't want to beat too hard on the lens, you'll obviously break it, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Alright guys, doing a functional test there. Am I bright? Look good. Here's what the front ones look like there. They fit pretty well on this side here. Pretty close. The other side's got a little bit of a gap. Well, there's a little bit of gap right here. It ain't perfect. This hood's been damaged before. You can see right here, this is the side I repaired, and then I hit a deer again right here and damaged it a little bit. So this is pushed up just a little bit. So, but I mean, it's fine. It looks good to me. I think that's going to be much better than what we had. All right, guys, there's a picture of what it looks like with the light off. That's a much clearer lens. Looks like it's supposed to. Looks like a new truck. Ran through a bunch of bugs the other night. Got bugs all over the bumper and the hood, but other than that, looks like a whole different truck. So I'm going to throw these bad boys in the garbage. I am going to remove the bulbs first, just because it's always handy to have a spare bulb. You just throw them in a Ziploc bag and throw them in your truck somewhere. And if you have a light go out on the side of the road, you can stick a bulb in there. Even though it's a used bulb that works is better than no bulb or a bulb that doesn't work. All right, guys, one more thing. I just realized whenever I was removing these bulbs here, this assembly, your adjustment on it, moves as a complete assembly, both your low and your high beam. I've got the headlight upside down, and this is your adjustment screw. It's got a ball on the end of it down in here. It goes in a socket. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see the end of it. It goes in a socket whenever it's up like this, when the headlight's flipped over. And when you screw that screw in, it raises the headlight up. As I say, I got the headlight upside down, but that makes it easier to see what's going on there. But that's your adjustment on it. All you should have to do is raise or lower this. You don't want to get it too high because you'll blind people and they'll get mad at you. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.